This is the Uptick Network Stock Day podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Penny stock news and interviews from the microcap world. Public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. With your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, we have a very exciting returning guest. He's been on our show before. He is the CEO of Hemp Incorporated. His name is Bruce Perlowin. Bruce, thank you very much for coming back on the show. Give us a little bit of update of what's been going on with you and your company. I know you got a lot of exciting news going on, especially in the space that you're in, hemp.
Well, the big news is that our decortication plant, which is the largest decortication plant in the world. There's 4 others as big as ours. Ours is in North Carolina. There's 2 in South Africa, 2 in France. This thing is humongous. It's if we were to build it today, it would cost us $30 million and take 4 years. It'll process 40 million pounds of hemp per year. Now, when I bought the machinery and the canaf, which it was processing, that's a cousin to hemp, I got 5 million pounds of canaf and all the machinery. It took me about 300 truckloads to move to the new location, disassemble all the equipment, and we've been reassembling it for about a year and a quarter. And we're about 2 to 3 months away, 1 to 3 months away, actually, of being up and running. Our first product was launched. It's a environmental spill cleanup because canaf and hemp are 2 of the most absorbable plants on the planet.
And that's called your spill suck, right?
Correct. That's called spill suck. Canaf absorbs, and hemp is similar, 9 times its own weight in chemicals or oils. So for oil spills, our chemical cleanup, or toxic waste cleanup, there's nothing in second place. It is in first place, both those plants.
So give us an update on your hemp plant in Spring Hope, North Carolina.
Okay, so right now we're bagging. Actually, we're going to change the name from Spill Suck to another name, so we've had to reissue all of the labels and do the new logo. So we're doing that, and then we'll bag up about 25,000 pounds. And we've been getting some pretty huge retail customers, which I won't say because you're not supposed to say it until after I sign the actual order. But they're 3 of the largest retail customers in America, with thousands of locations collectively between these companies. So we have that order pending, and we're going to market that. We have another guy that wants 2 million pounds a month of another kind of product that we can produce there. There's only so many producers of this quantity of material in America. Well, actually, there's none. There's one, us. Okay, so the orders that we get are huge orders. So it did behoove us to take the time to actually put that plant back together, buy it. We got it at a good price. Take a year, whatever, because once those orders start flying in, they're not, we sort of discontinued our little stuff, shampoo. We have shampoo and conditioners, hemp shampoo and conditioners. We discontinued a lot of the creams. I figured, 10 years of selling creams versus 1 week of selling this other orders, let's focus on the plant in North Carolina.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, for the last time you were on the show, for people who don't know the history of your company, let's give them a little biograph here. How many acres do you have down there in North Carolina? What's the time of actually bringing the crop to fruition and then taking it to the manufacturing?
Well, there's 70,000 square feet of building on 9 acres. And people can actually see videos, because in all our press releases, I like to, if we can coordinate it, get a video of what we're talking about so people can actually see the plant being put back together, the plant being moved, the plant being disassembled, the silo going up, the farming of the canaf, which we were farming. We did 150 acres. The neat thing about that is when we bought that plant and started putting it together, hemp was not legal in North Carolina. I really didn't care. Yes, we're Hemp Inc., and we knew it was going to be legal one day, and that's a great growing area because the plant was processing canaf, and we can make a lot of money just with the canaf while we wait for the 5,000 acres of hemp to be grown in North Carolina, which would give us the 40 million pounds a year that we need for that plant. So we can get So we have all this canaf on hand. We're processing it. Now, hemp is legal in North Carolina. The state may, the farmers may or may not get the crop in this year. It doesn't matter to us. We have a perfect migration strategy. Continue doing the canaf until the hemp crop is big enough to use the plant for the hemp. And of course, hemp is cooler than canaf. Hemp is trending. Hemp is environmentally an amazing product. Everybody wants hemp. Very few people even heard of canaf. So we're real happy about the migration strategy that this plant afforded us. It would be tough to build a plant and wait for enough hemp to become legal and grown to feed that plant.
So you're saying that the manufacturing plant will be online producing within 2 or 3 months. Is that correct?
Yeah, maybe sooner. We're behind schedule, and one of the big reasons is because this was the rainiest, wettest season in the history of North Carolina, in the entire history of recording rain. So when we're when we're waiting for the rain to stop so we can pour the concrete slab, which is 60 feet long by 16 feet wide by 2 feet deep to put our silo on, we had to literally wait 6 weeks to get a break in the rain, and then it came, and they had like a 2-day window, poured the concrete. Then we had to wait to put the silo up, because you couldn't put these massive cranes that lift the silo because they get stuck in the mud. So those are some unanticipated delays,
Absolutely.
which you just can't beat. But, it doesn't matter. We just kept moving forward. And so the mill portion of the plant is actually, the bagging equipment, with the bagger, which is a piece that puts the environment, the spill suck into the bags.
Absolutely.
I believe that's up and running now, and the mill will come online fully in about 3 to 4 weeks, and the whole plant 1 to 2 months after that.
So
what and that's a guess.
So what will we be producing first there?
Okay, the first thing is the spill suck.
Okay.
All right.
And we're going to do about 25,000 pounds.
Well, yeah, but you know what? By the time we get done bagging it, we'll have another 100,000 pounds in there. 2 to 3 weeks, we'll have another 1,000 pounds ready for bagging. And in, say, 3 months, we'll be doing between 1 and 3 million pounds a month and with just that one product. The second product is LCMs, a lost circulation material, that we mix with, it's the canaf ground up, a much finer mesh. One of them is 20 mesh, the other one's 200 to 320 mesh. It's a different combination of particle sizes, mixed with bentonite clay and some other secret things, and that's for the oil industry, for drilling. So consequently, some of the biggest companies on the planet Earth, the oil companies, are our customers. I mean, as an example of the size of orders, the Mexican oil company, Pemex, they spend $40 million a month buying LCMs. And they're buying stuff that is nowhere near as good as what we'll be producing. So, and these companies also, they don't want to buy one order. They want between 3, 5, and 10-year contracts.
And they've already sent you PO numbers?
No, they have not. They've one of the representatives has been to the plant. They're looking. They're waiting for that plant to be up and running. And then you have companies like Saudi Aramco, who, when this plant was operating before, they wanted $1.2 million a month for a 5-year contract. And the old product did have a vendor number with Saudi Aramco, and we're an approved vendor. And so we're in the process of reestablishing that and see if we can use that old vendor number with them, or do we have to go through the whole process. Your sales cycle is about 6 months with the big oil companies, but then you get 3 to 10-year contracts.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Great things are happening for hemp. Our guest today is Bruce Perlowin. He is the CEO of Hemp Incorporated, traded under the ticker symbol HEMP. Now, do you feel that the agriculture forecast for hemp, what is the future here in America, and how big is this market space?
Well, the marketplace, they say 350 to 500 million a year is what we did last year in America. And it's trending up. Everybody, hemp is fashionable with hemp clothing. I mean, as an example, Adidas has made a hemp sneaker for a long time. Nike just came out with a hemp sneaker. So when the big companies like Adidas and Nike start making their shoes out of hemp, you know that that's trending, that it's popular. So in the hemp marketplace is at its infancy, and we're at the beginning of a massive, massive green revolution. And hemp makes so many things. I mean, I'm in touch with a lot of farmers all over America who are growing hemp or wanting to grow hemp, and it's such a baby industry. To be this far ahead in an industry that you know is going to be massive. As an example, I was told, I haven't verified this statistically yet, that China grows 1 million acres of hemp every year, and they don't get the full utilization. They don't make hemp oil. Canada makes the hemp oil and the hemp seeds and the hemp hearts and the hemp protein and the hemp flour, but they don't make textiles. So you got China making textiles and Canada making the food products, and neither one of them yet have made CBDs from hemp, which is the big hot profitable item for the hemp farmer. If he can do just 1 acre of hemp and make his own CBDs or sell it to someone who, there's all kinds of joint ventures now with the CBD extraction companies, you're talking huge amount of money. Again, I can't quantify this because I never looked and analyzed it, but in one lecture that I was listening to an expert, he said the farmer can make $300,000 per acre. That seemed obscenely high to me.
Yes.
You know, but then I thought, okay, well, sure you could. If you bought your own extractor and you extract it yourself, that is the market value of what an acre of hemp would produce. Now, that's not realistic, you know, because the farmers are going to grow, let's say, 50 acres. They'll sell it to someone who has an extractor, but it's good money for the farmers. Just like medical marijuana. You can't sell anything, any kind of fruit or vegetable for $1,800 a pound.
Right.
Tomatoes don't bring that. Yeah. And that's the low price. That's not what it was a few years ago. It was $2,000 a pound.
Our guest today is Bruce Perlowin. He is the CEO of Hemp Incorporated, trading under the ticker symbol HEMP. I could stay all day long and talk to Bruce about his market space and about his product, but we're in closing here. And Bruce, in closing, what would you want to get out to my listeners that we didn't get out last time? Like I said, I know you guys are almost up and going. You guys are going to be online here in 2 or 3 months at minimum. And so any words that you have for your stockholders or for my listeners?
Well, what I would encourage everybody to do is buy hemp products. You know, and I see more and more of this seeping into the marketplace. People buy products from companies that are making a change. And we are making a huge change in just bringing hemp to the marketplace. So just buy your hemp shampoo and conditioners and your hemp seeds and protein, and make sure when you buy clothing, you buy hemp clothing. And that's a big part of our marketplace. And you're saying when you do that, we don't want to be dependent on foreign oil. We want hempoline or biodiesel made out of hemp. We want hemp clothing so it lasts a lot longer, it's more durable. There's a million other reasons why it's superior than cotton. And we want environmentally friendly companies' products, and most of the companies out there involved in the hemp industry are just that. So vote with your pocket.
Right. Well, I think your stock is very undervalued around the 5-cent area, and I think if they're going to buy anything, they should pick up some HEMP. Bruce, I appreciate you coming on the show today. It's always a pleasure to get with you and talk to you about your company. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and we're going to get back in touch with you in a month or two.
Okay. Thank you for having me again, Everett.